You're joking, aren't you? It's the Teesside Chef. Vegan Tikka Masala. It's about time I made a healthy recipe, and now I've lost a few pounds, I can once again enjoy my hobby of posing naked in front of the mirror with my collection of medieval swords. The absence of chicken in this recipe also makes it a lot cheaper, which is great, but you still have to stretch to 2 large fresh peppers, which will need cutting into smallish pieces. I'm going to flash fry the pepper in refined coconut oil, but you can use any vegan-friendly oil you like here. And once the pan and oil are hot, simply throw the pepper in and flash fry while adding a little salt and pepper, and you can cook this on a high heat because you're just looking to colour the pepper a little. We don't want the pepper to cook too much and get too soft just yet, so when you've blitzed it for a couple of minutes, set it aside on a plate or in a bowl and let it cool down, and as the pepper cools, you're more than welcome to click the like button on this video, as that will give me a right spring in my step. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel too, because I heard that if you do that, it improves your life immeasurably. So in the same pan I've just done the pepper in, and with a little more oil, I'm going to soften a finely chopped medium onion for a few minutes on a medium heat, and while that is occurring, I shall prepare a curry paste, starting with 3 heaped teaspoons of curry powder, and be generous with your spices here, 3 heaped teaspoons of coriander powder, as well as a heaped teaspoon of cumin, and a teaspoon of garam masala powder, along with a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of pepper. And if we add around 150 millilitres of water to that, we can go ahead and stir it into a runny paste. Now, just before I add the curry paste in, I'm going to go in with a tablespoon of minced garlic and mix in the curry spices with water before they hit the heat of the pan. We'll just stop them from burning, and once they've simmered for a bit, we can put this whole thing together, starting with 125 grams of tomato puree. Now, to replace the yogurt I would usually use, I'm going in with 200 grams of coconut milk, and don't worry, you won't taste the coconut in the finished curry. And because we haven't used yogurt, we'll need some acidity with a tablespoon of lime or lemon juice, and you'll need to finely grate 25 grams of fresh ginger in, which is a piece of ginger about the size of my big toe, and I can send you a picture of my big toe for reference if you need it. Honestly, it's no problem. And I know it's difficult to believe after such a short time period, but we're almost done. I'm using a vegetable stock to thin out the curry as it simmers, and you'll also need to add more oil at this point. And I'm going to go in with 50 grams of refined coconut oil. Don't worry, you won't taste any coconut in refined coconut oil. And this is perfect for giving a creamy mouthfeel to the curry and helping to temper the strong flavours in the sauce. And after a taste, I added a little more salt to suit my preference before going in with 2 standard-sized tins, and that's about 500 grams, give or take, of cooked cannellini beans, or any beans you fancy will work here. And ideally, you should gently simmer the curry now for around 30 to 45 minutes at least to develop those complex flavours, and you can add more stock as needed to make sure the curry doesn't get too thick. And around 15 minutes before serving, add those peppers we prepared at the beginning back in to warm through, soften a bit, and impart a little sweetness to the final dish, which I will finish with some fresh herbs, fresh parsley for me because I simply cannot eat fresh coriander. And all that's left to do now is to serve it up on a pretentious, impractical plate, and eating this curry regularly should help me to fit into those leopard skin underpants I recently ordered, and they'll look smashing on when I'm practicing my samurai moves. And if anybody wants any photos of me in my leopard skin underpants with my flashing blade, let me know. It's absolutely no problem. I'll be happy to do it. I'll send you them anytime, no problem. All right. Look forward to hearing from you. Ta-ra.